G'day, everyone. I'm Ben, and this is Counterfeit Christianity. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Leave your thoughts in the comments. It really means a lot to me. Also, check out the links in my description, but I'll talk about that stuff at the end. So today, I want to talk about this idea. It popped into my head at the gym this morning, and the idea is from connection with God to indoctrination by man. And the only thing that makes us have the ability to be indoctrinated is fear, right? The only thing that can be used to make us do something that we don't want to do is fear. And that's what Christianity is. It is a place that drives fear home, that tries to separate you from our daddy and the ability to have conversation and connection with him. They drive fear home with the doubt and this idea that you are not clean enough to be with our dad. You are not clean, and you are going to hell if you think the wrong things, if you do the wrong things, if you say the wrong things, right? And to be with him, you have to think a very specific thing. And that's how they get you. And then their systems are built so that they can spin you around in circles and keep you going with that fear and doubt so that they can control you and keep getting paid by you. That's what it's all about. But I want to talk about a couple of different examples, and I've heard about these examples a lot in my life. And it is my story as much as it's pretty much everyone's story, right? So my mum and my wife, they sort of have a very similar story of connecting with God, but then being caught up in religion, and to a certain extent me as well. But my whole life was the things that I was told by Christians from the very beginning, from a very young age. But the story of my wife was before she met me, she worked at an orphanage that I first met her. That's where I met her, at this orphanage. And like, they talk about God a lot. And back in those days, they were kind of more chill, and there was no like super religious indoctrination. Now it's gone. It's destroyed because of super religious people and evil teachings to control them, like every other Christian space. And she was interested in hanging out with God. And then she talked to him and listened to him, and he showed her things in her life that were real and that were true. She connected with him in that way because he was able to connect with her, because people with a heart can connect. And then the problem is, after that, we got together and I met her, and then I was very religious in those days. And so, yeah, then we just went down the normal Christian path, and then, normal Christian bullshit, going to church and all this stuff, and that just is soul destroying shit. Until I got on the journey of listening to our dad and being with him and separating myself from religion and Christianity. And I have repented from being Christian since those days. And now we're free and flowing with our dad again. But that story that she has of being connected with God and then becoming indoctrinated by man. And that's the problem with religions. And good women, they will follow their man. They will follow their husband. And that's good, unless the husband is indoctrinated and brainwashed and weak, as I was. And then when that happens, then the man is going to lead the family into hell. And that's the place of very many people on this earth. Very many men are very weak, and they just think what they're told to think instead of connecting with their dad and being free. And so now I have repented from all of that stuff, and I've apologized for everything that I'd ever done to my family and to her. And we talk about it all the time. I used to be defensive about it, but now I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I understand what I did, and I understand the reasons why, and she understands it, and we can talk about it freely. And it's okay. It happens to all of us because we're all brought into this place of indoctrination and coercion and fear-based places that will draw us into hell. And my mum also has a similar story of being connected with God and then being indoctrinated by man. When I was born, she had this great connection with God and used to hang out with him and talk to him all day, every day. And then she got connected with Christianity and churches, and then they drew her into the lies. And they told her all these lies about him, that he was this way, even though you'd have experienced him in another way, and you know that he's different, but they draw you into these lies. And Christians lie about his character all the time. And they say, if you don't think this thing, you are going to hell. You better not say this. You better not think that. You better not do that. But you also must think that Jesus came to save you from your sins. That has nothing to do with him. He came to stop religious people and tell them what they truly are. They're servants of Satan. And that's what Christianity is now. And religion has just exploded. It was the same. It was all over the world, and it always has been. And now the problem is that they just connected themselves to him, and then they built this lie around Jesus. The living God has always been glad to be with all of us, no matter what. And Jesus even modeled what it was like to be with him. He even showed everybody people of his time, what it was like to hang out with his dad, be with him, talk to him, flow with him, and listen to him and do what he says, right? Even Jesus said that. I don't do anything unless my dad tells me to, right? That is the way that we are designed to be with our dad. They're saying that God is so angry with us And he's so perfect that he can't be near us because of our sin, right? There's only one sin that separates you from him, and that is believing lies about him in a religious context. If you are religious in any way, then you will be separated from the living God. But because it's you choosing not to be with him, not listening to him, and not connecting with him and flowing with him, that's you, that's not him. He's not like that. He's never was like that. He's always been glad to be with every single human being, every single one of us on this earth, no matter what. They are lying about his character. They lie about Jesus' character too. All there is in Christianity is indoctrination through lies, into the lies that they want you to believe. So that happened to my mum. She was with God and then became indoctrinated by man. And I was brought up inside of the indoctrination. But I have talked about this before, but I had this connection inside of me with God where I was paying attention to him all the time, but I didn't realize. I had this intuition about things that were good and that were bad, because all of us really do have that, but we're taught to block it. In Christianity, we're told and taught that our heart is evil, and we're told that you should suppress your heart. But that's the reason that it's so evil, because the living God, our daddy, the creator of this earth, he connects to us via the heart. That's why they want you to crush that part of you. If you're not heart, mind, body, and soul, and whatever you want to call it, spirit, same thing. If you are not that whole human being, that's what we're designed to be as sons and daughters. If we're not all of these together, then we are not human and we cannot be sons and daughters of God. We cannot be with him because they tell us to suppress other parts of us so that they can indoctrinate us further and deeper and harder. That's the way that they control us, by lying to us about our true nature, about the power we have when we are living with our daddy and flowing with him through this earth. It's not a kingdom of God. It's a family. He is our dad. And his other sons and daughters, who is all of us if we choose it, will be our actual brothers and sisters when we get to flow. You can be a brother and sister of somebody in Christianity and be a son of Satan if you choose, because it's just indoctrination, it's just lies. And they're telling you that you're this dark, dirty thing that he can't be around, but that's a lie. He's glad to be with us no matter what. And the heartless never understand this stuff. Only those of us who have a heart, who can feel things, we're designed to feel. If you can't feel, if you've suppressed your heart so much that you have no feelings left, you'll never get it, right? Because you choose the indoctrination of man over that conversational relationship with the living God, who is our daddy. There's nothing much that I can say that will convince you, and I don't really care to. I don't really give a fuck. It's your choice. You choose hell of religion, of Christianity, or not. And you'll probably choose it forever. Even when you stand face to face with our daddy, you'll probably say, nah, I'm good with the lie of Christianity. I'm good with that. I don't want to be with you. But he's glad to be with us, no matter what. We are all his sons and daughters if we choose it, right? That's the way that we are designed. And the hard part is crushing your ego, removing your ego from you. The stuff that you know, that knowledge and duty that they have indoctrinated into you, they've smashed into your brain, that is true, and there's stuff that you must know, otherwise you're burning. That's the hardest part to release. But when you're with him, it'll happen. When you're with him, he will show you what's good. When you're with him, he will flow you into everything that is good and remove the evil shit out of your life that has been smashed and indoctrinated into us. But like always, this is my understanding. I don't know shit. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that sort of good stuff. Check out the links in my description. I've got a Discord chat if you want to come on there and have some conversation. This is for real humans who want real conversation. If you're religious in any way, you're not welcome. Stay away, or I'll just block you when you get there. Also, I've got a donation link if you want to help me out. I've got links to my music if you want to go listen. I'd appreciate that. And then I also have my website, and that is basically put together. So if you want to join one of my Zoom calls, and you can go and have a free intro call, we'll talk about it. But in my Zoom calls, we practice joy. We practice listening to our dad. And then we listen to him and come back and share what he's been saying. But anyway, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.